It's another beautiful night for baseball, and it might just be the Gems' last time they host the fans here at QU Stadium, as it's their last home game of the year in the regular season, and the Gems will only get to play one more time with the Rock Pile if they go all the way to the championship series. My name is Patrick McColl, joining you here on Prospect League TV. The Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp, who won yesterday against these very same Gems, will come back today and look to pick up another victory, as they are about out of it in the race, though they did win 12-6 yesterday in an impressive outing. The Valley Pistol Shrimp had everything rolling in the game, ended up getting 15 hits. That was after they had run-rolled the Quincy Gems the last time they were here at QU Stadium. But we'll get right into the matchup we have today, as again the Gems wrap up their season on the road tomorrow at Burlington, while the Valley Pistol Shrimp will wrap up their respective season on the road in Clinton. And this 2023 Prospect League year will come to an end in the regular season, with the postseason beginning at 2 o'clock with the Gems and the Lumber Kings on Sunday, August 6th. Get right into this thing. For what Illinois Valley brings out in the order, it's going to be much different. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but Illinois Valley is out of it. The Gems are out of any movement in the standings as well, so they can play pretty free. And you're going to see a lot of pitchers playing positions. Meanwhile, the position players will be pitching in a lot of situations for the Pistol Shrimp tonight. River Scott, the center fielder, usually a pitcher, again going to lead things off for Illinois Valley. Behind him, Justin Rios batting second, playing short. Jason Shaner is the first baseman over there tonight, wearing number 1. Kyle Beach will be the designated hitter, wears number 36 in today's game, and bats cleanup. David Andolino is the right fielder. He started yesterday's game, and Sam Corbett is going to be the second baseman. Daniel Strom, the reliever yesterday, who went 4 innings strong, comes back out here to bat 7th and play 3rd. Sebastian Gonzalez is the left fielder, and Jake Ferguson is the catcher for the Valley Pistol Shrimp, as they come back into town for one final visit to Quincy in this Prospect League year. On the other side of things, we'll see Jack Zebig for Quincy come to the dish first. Jimmy Koza behind him. Lucas Luce will play 3rd and bat 3rd. All, of course, 3 usual starters. Jason Andujar, the DH, batting cleanup. Tristan Menny, the first baseman, bats behind him and batting 5th as well. Joe Sierva is in the 6th slide in the order, playing center. Otto Jones will catch and bat 7th. Luke Jessen will play in left, bat 8th. And Andrew Fay is returning here after his second start back as a position player, and he's going to play in right field tonight. Last in the order and last on the defensive numbering at number 9. With that all out of the way, we also had to look into the pitching matchup in this game. It's going to be another interesting one. Will Worthington, who is a San Diego player, a junior this prior year, hit pretty well there, had 5 home runs, hit 256, and then this season in the Prospect League in 20 games, he's hit 206 and 6 RBIs, a couple of doubles to his line. He has yet to make a pitching appearance, but he's going to do so here tonight, grab the start. And you mentioned San Diego because he didn't have any starts there either as a pitcher. He's played in seasons since 2020, where he redshirted there, then played again as a freshman in 2021, 22, and 23. Again, no starts or appearances as a pitcher throughout his college years. Hard to say exactly what his game log looked like in high school, but we know he prepped at Brophy College Prep in Phoenix, and there he was, again, known for his play in the infield. And so, going to get his first start, though, in the Prospect League. Probably a rough time to go, though, against these Gems hitters that have been pretty tough to beat. And that, of course, will bring us to Max Babbage, who is the starter tonight for the Quincy Gems, who we're going to take a look at. Comes in with a 7.11 ERA with a whip of 2.61. He's 1-0 in his one decision. Has started twice and made 4 appearances. On the year, he's allowed 18 walks to 11 strikeouts, and will be somebody to watch as he draws the start here. Again, Quincy saving its best arms mostly for the playoffs, it would seem, as they're going to be able to go against Clinton at 2 o'clock on Sunday to start the year. And that's how they also know, starting the postseason, it's going to match up. So, again, there is nothing to fight for if you're Quincy. You kind of have to just deal with what's already in their hands. And that's why I think Quincy is also still trying to tune up a little bit here more in this game while the Pistol Shrimp are sending out whomever they would like. The Gems do have a bit to play for, at least to rev up for the postseason, but there is no implications for home and away order or any of that sort of matchup type of thing to look out forward to. But pregame show should be a little bit longer here tonight, as we do have Fan Appreciation Night. It's the last home game of the year, so the fans are stockpiling down the left field line. The dew deck occupied here. Again, regular season going to come to a close tomorrow on August the 5th, as many players will start up in a couple weeks back at their respective colleges. So they do have to wrap up the Summer League baseball season, I should say. And down the left field line, we've got a few fans and players taking the field now. A couple of kids running with the older Gems. A good sight to see, wearing their hopeful Gem uniforms and a junior size, of course, for the youngsters. But to give you the defensive alignment for the Quincy Gems before we step aside, it'll be Jones doing the catching behind home plate, Babbage dealing. Many is at first, Jimmy Koza at second, Jack Zebig the shortstop, Lucas Luce will play at third, Luke Jessen in left, Joe Siervo's the center fielder, and Andrew Fay again in right field. For the Quincy Gems defense, that's how they stack up coming into their final home game in the regular season. As the lights start to flood the field, it is important to give it a heads up. We did have a chat with Joe Siervo, Quincy Gems center fielder, and we'll have that for you playing as the national anthem is just about to get underway. But as it's a tad longer of an interview, we're going to go ahead and step aside. Again, the Pistol Shrimp and the Gems will start this one on the other side of the break, but in the meantime, was able to catch up with center fielder of the Gems, Joe Siervo. Take a look. Here with the Quincy Gems center fielder, Joe Siervo. And Joe, I know you've had a really good year, so I'm just wondering, how much does this season help you develop?
I think it helped me develop a lot. I've really learned a lot about myself as the season's gone on, definitely.
And obviously we go way back to Parkway Central High School. I've seen you put on some weight since then, at least on the roster. You're listed near 190. Is that true? And how much muscle have you put on?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely in junior college, helped me put on a lot of muscle. So I've probably put on around 20 pounds of muscle since then.
Sorry to cut you off, pull the mic, but it's been a long prospect league season. Dealing with this heat, do you feel like that's going to help you moving forward, especially if you got a bright future, maybe playing in pro ball someday? Would you be glad that you got this experience out in the heat?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, playing this many games definitely gets you ready for what's to come in the future. So I'm really thankful for it.
And being in the leadoff spot oftentimes, is that kind of where you play in your regular season in college?
Yeah, nearing the end or the middle and end of the junior college season, they moved me up to leadoff, and that's what I was towards the end and beginning of this summer season. So I'm used to it.
And how much do you think, how different has it been for you to play all season long with the wooden bat versus the metal bat you get in college?
It's definitely different, but as they always say, hitters hit, so you got to be able to hit with both.
And what do you think, being around this team now for the next, the last 2 months, I should say, you've seen a lot of guys that can really hit the baseball hard. Has there been any tips and tricks that you've really taken away from this year?
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot from a lot of the players like Lucas Luce, and I've talked to Jimmy Koza as well, and Otto. Him and I talk a lot. I mean, I've definitely learned a lot as a hitter this season. I don't really know what tips and tricks, but I've just taken it all in as the summer's gone on.
And you've obviously had a couple of different coaches here than you have at Jefferson College, so I'm wondering with that as well, is there any different perspective they can give you?
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot from all the other coaches. I like playing for a player's coach, and I think Coach Oden and BG are pretty good player coaches. I mean, they really let us have fun, so I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And I'm wondering, what has been your favorite jersey this year? There's so many different ones to choose from. I know the Friends night you guys played pretty well. Is there any that you have in mind?
My favorite is the Light the Night. Just I think it's overall cool jersey, and I also like the camo ones as well.
And have any of your friends and family come out to watch these games, obviously being from STL?
Yeah, my parents are actually coming today, but also in O'Fallon I get a lot of people from the hometown to come out and watch.
And last thing, I'm wondering, did you ever go back to visit Coach Davis a number of times at Parkway Central?
Yeah, I actually have. Him and I still talk a lot, so I'm pretty close with him still.
Awesome. Well, that's all that I have, and thanks again for doing this.
Yep, of course.
Hope you enjoyed the interview as I caught up with Joe Ciervo before the game. Clearly one of the coolest cats on the Gems roster, is very smooth out there in the outfield, and we'll see him hit here again tonight as he'll bat 6 in the Gems order. But again, to go back to Babich and what he's got to face here between these Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp and the Quincy Gems, what's interesting is that, again, we have so many new hitters on the batting order for Illinois Valley. It's really hard to track how much their performance is going to mean. Yesterday, again, Pistol Shrimp tracked up 12 runs. They had 15 hits and really were working the baseball all around the yard. Plenty of players that were able to exit this ballpark. Luis Perona, Robert Marinek, Logan Gregorio, and Isaiah Hart. 4 home runs combined between them to really run away with the game. Gems were in a bad position, almost got run ruled before they were able to rally late in the game, but did just come out with a 12-6 defeat, as we do have Babich facing Rivers Scott, the center fielder, usual pitcher here tonight.